Woodland Nightmares, a tale of shadows. In the heart of the woods, where the trees whisper secrets and shadows dance, there lies a darkness that waits for the unwary. The sound of a distant owl hooting pierces the stillness, setting the stage for a chilling tale. The Elderwood Forest, a sprawling expanse of ancient trees and thick underbrush, is a place of beauty and terror. Locals tell stories of those who ventured too deep and never returned, their fates sealed by the malevolent forces that dwell within. The air is thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the rustle of leaves and the occasional snap of a twig. Legends speak of a creature known as the Wraith, a shadowy figure that lures the curious into its lair, feeding on their fear. It is said that the Wraiths can mimic the voices of loved ones, drawing in those who are lost and alone. As night falls, the forest transforms into a labyrinth of nightmares, where every rustle could be the harbinger of doom. As dusk settles, a group of friends, Emily, Jake, Sarah, and Tom, decide to test their courage by camping in the heart of Elderwood. Each of them carries their own reasons for wanting to face the woods. Emily, an aspiring filmmaker, seeks inspiration for her next project. Jake, the skeptic of the group, wants to debunk the myths surrounding the forest. Sarah, a nature enthusiast, hopes to document the wildlife, while Tom, the Joker, is simply looking for a thrill. Armed with flashlights and bravado, they set up their tents, unaware of the darkness that surrounds them.
Around the campfire, they share ghost stories, each tale more disturbing than the last. Sarah recounts the story of a hiker who vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a tattered backpack and a chilling note. "I can hear it breathing."
Jake laughs it off, dismissing it as just another urban legend.
But Emily feels a shiver run down her spine, her mind racing with images of the Wraith. As the night deepens, strange occurrences begin. The fire flickers as if a cold wind sweeps through, despite the stillness of the night.
Tom, trying to lighten the mood, starts a game of truth or dare, but the atmosphere is thick with tension.
When it's Jake's turn, he dares Sarah to walk to the edge of the woods and call out to the Wraith.
With a nervous laugh, Sarah accepts the challenge.
She walks to the tree line, the darkness swallowing her whole.
"Hey, Wraith, come get me!" she shouts, her voice echoing back eerily.
The friends chuckle nervously, but as Sarah turns to return, a low growl emanates from the depths of the forest, sending chills through their bones. The friends freeze in terror, their hearts pounding in their chests. The growl grows louder, and they realize it's not just an animal. It's something far more sinister. The Wraith, a grotesque figure with glowing eyes and elongated limbs, emerges from the shadows. Its presence is suffocating, and the air grows heavy with dread.
Oh no, what is that thing?
Jake, gripped by fear, turns to run, but the creature's gaze locks onto him. In that moment, he feels an overwhelming sense of dread, as if the very essence of his being is being siphoned away.
"We can't leave him."
Emily, realizing they must act quickly, grabs Tom's arm and pulls him back.
Emily, it's too dangerous.
But the Wraith is faster. It lunges toward Jake, who stumbles and falls. The friends scream, their voices swallowed by the night.
"No, Jake!"
In a desperate attempt, Sarah picks up a fallen branch and charges at the Wraith, swinging wildly. The creature recoils, momentarily distracted, allowing Jake to scramble to his feet.
Thanks, Sarah. Let's go.
The friends turn and run, the sound of the Wraith's pursuit echoing behind them. They weave through the trees, branches clawing at their skin, the darkness closing in around them.
Keep running, don't look back.
Emily glances back, catching a glimpse of the Wraith's gnarled face, twisted in a grotesque smile. They burst out of the woods, collapsing on the ground just outside the tree line. They look back, breathless and terrified, but the Wraith does not follow. The forest looms ominously behind them, dark and silent once more.
I felt something drain from me, like a piece of my soul is gone.
It's okay, Jake, we're safe now.
In the aftermath, they sit in shock, trying to process what just happened. As dawn breaks, they pack their belongings in silence, each lost in their thoughts.
We can never come back here, ever.
I feel so guilty. This was all my idea.
The woods, once a place of adventure, now feel like a prison of nightmares. They vow never to return, but the memory of the Wraith will haunt them forever. Weeks pass, and they try to return to their normal lives. Emily struggles to focus on her film project, haunted by visions of the Wraith. Jake becomes withdrawn, plagued by nightmares of the creature stalking him through the woods. Sarah, once enthusiastic about nature, avoids the outdoors altogether, while Tom, who tried to lighten the mood, feels the weight of guilt for encouraging the dare.
I can't shake this feeling. It's like the Wraith is still with us.
We'll never be the same again.
We have to move on somehow.
But how do we forget something like that?
The memory of the Wraith lingers, a dark shadow over their lives, a reminder of the night they will never forget.
We need to talk about what happened.
One evening, Emily gathers the group at her house, her voice trembling as she speaks.
I feel like I'm being watched, even in the safety of my own home.
They share their experiences, revealing how the encounter has affected each of them.
I've been researching the Wraith, uncovering more chilling tales of others who have encountered it.
As they delve deeper into the lore, they learn that the Wraith feeds on fear and despair, growing stronger with each victim it claims.
We must confront our fears not only to reclaim our lives, but to prevent the Wraith from claiming more souls.
Determined, they plan to return to the woods, armed with knowledge and a newfound resolve. They gather supplies, flashlights, a camera, and a few protective charms they found in Sarah's research. As night falls, they set out, the weight of their past experiences heavy on their shoulders.
We're not here to run. We're here to face it. Arriving at the edge of the Elderwood, they take a moment to gather their courage.
We're not afraid of you. They step into the darkness, the trees looming overhead like silent sentinels. As they venture deeper, they call out to the Wraith, challenging it to confront them.
Jake shouts, his voice echoing in the stillness. The forest responds with an eerie silence. And for a moment, they believe they might have succeeded. But then the growl returns, louder and more menacing than before. The Wraith emerges from the shadows, its eyes glowing with hunger. This time, however, the friends stand united, their fear transformed into determination. With each step it takes toward them, they stand their ground, chanting words of defiance they found in Sarah's research. The Wraith hesitates, its form flickering as if struggling against an unseen force. In a final surge of courage, they focus their energy, channeling their collective strength. the Wraith lets out a deafening scream, a sound that reverberates through the forest, shaking the very ground beneath them. With one last push, they banish the creature back into the shadows, the darkness receding as dawn begins to break. Exhausted but triumphant, the friends emerge from the woods, forever changed but free from the Wraith's grasp. They vow to share their story, to warn others of the dangers that lurk in the Elderwood. As they leave, they reflect on the power of friendship and courage in the face of fear. The woods, once a source of nightmares, now hold a lesson. The darkness can be confronted, and light can prevail. As the tale comes to a close, we invite you, dear viewers, to share your own creepy stories in the comments below. Have you encountered something strange in the woods? What legends have you heard? And if you enjoyed this chilling tale, be sure to check out our next video, where we delve into more spine-tingling horror stories that will keep you up at night. Remember, the woods are listening, and they may have a story of their own to tell.